Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Habib Talks. Habib Talks is an initiative by Habib University where we actually talk and discuss about what really matters. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Zain Jeewanjee, who is an insurance industry wizard based in Silicon Valley. He's a serial entrepreneur, and now he's helping other humans and businesses to achieve similar results. He's a great motivational speaker and an amazing person who believes in giving back. So we'll know Mr. Zain Jeewanjee's journey and his story from him today. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
First, tell us about yourself, and then why did you choose this specific industry to start your business in and then focus towards it?
First of all, the honor is mine to be on a platform that you're giving me to talk and share. So, one of the greatest gifts that you get is knowledge. And knowledge comes over. I remember when I was a little baby boy, तो अबू कहते थे बेटे अभी आपको समझ नहीं आएगी. You don't understand it right now, but when you grow up, you'll understand. Yes, now I understand what that wealth of knowledge comes in. Whether it be through a curriculum, whether it be through education, whether it be through experience. When you get all that, then you realize, wow, so that's a gift to you that humanity has given you. If you don't share that back to humanity, you're depriving yourself the pleasure of giving. So if you can learn to give back the knowledge, so the pleasure is mine actually. The honor is mine that you're allowing me to share my knowledge, a little bit of wisdom that I may have gained over the 40, 50 years that I've been involved in what I'm doing. To get so thank you. And thank you to Habib University. My story of why and how I got into insurance is, there's a saying, for everything you create, there's a reason and there's a purpose behind it. A mother of all inventions, right, is a need. So I had migrated from Pakistan in 1983 to the US with a child, my son, who needed medical care. And then my son actually passed away. We couldn't save him in San Francisco. And we were left with a huge amount of medical bills, to tell you that in 1983, the bills would have been close to 100,000 US dollars is not exaggeration. And I started working at night at gas stations and in morning odd jobs just to pay the bills off. But it dawned on me that there was no product in the US to cover people who would come into the US as visitors to buy insurance. There was no insurance product. So in 1985, we created the first insurance product. And the joke that I tell everybody is because that's the only industry that takes crooks, criminals, anybody at all, right? The insurance industry, anybody can join. There's no way. So I think that was the reason I created the first. The technology sector and everything, I, from a very early in my age, loved gadgets.
Right.
So Lego, I would build Lego in the 60s, 1964, 65, and I would put electrical bulbs in there because there was no lights in Lego. Of course, now we've got cars and motorized mechanos and stuff, but I used to love gizmos engineering. And I had no engineering background. So I'm an arts major and an economics major, but I loved those little gadgets, widgets. So I took insurance and added that, that zest I had for gizmos and technology and adapted to it. Then, of course, living in the Silicon Valley, all my friends and everybody was doing .com companies and becoming billionaires. So I said, let's bring technology. So we created the first online product, I think, in insurance, probably on this planet in 1996, 97.
So Zain, you have, mashallah, supported a lot of businesses, and especially जब भी आपसे बात होती है, आप बहुत ही passionately youth के बारे में बात करते हैं, right? So especially इस interview से हमारा मकसद ये भी है कि जो नौजवान ये interview देखेंगे, उससे वो कुछ सीखें, and then they should prepare well how to pitch their idea to Mr. Zain Jeewanjee. What actually motivates you and attracts you in an idea that you eventually end up supporting them? So what are those, if I may ask, 5 things that you actually see in an idea that impresses you to eventually, invest in it?
So please, this is no rule for you to pitch to anyone else. And you're talking about me and what gets me excited. And I don't know if they're 5 or 3 or 2, but I'll tell you the things that are important to me. The first thing I look at is your character. You're standing on ethics. आप क्या हर चीज देखते हैं on a global vision, or do you look at on an inverted small vision कि मेरा इसमें क्या फायदा होगा? अगर आप कोई कंपनी बना रहे हैं किसी चीज को, तो मेरी एक saying है, मैं सबको कहता हूँ, don't chase the cup, chase the finish line. यानी काम के इख्तिताम को पहुंचने के लिए आप चेस करें, ये ना करें कि कितना मैं पैसे बनाऊंगा या क्या होगा इससे, कितनी दौलत बना लूंगा. डोंट इवन थिंक अबाउट दैट. वो खुद ही आ जाएगा अगर आप फिनिश लाइन. तो पहले कैरेक्टर को मैं देखता हूँ कि वो करना किस लिए चाह रहा है. अगर उसका टोटल ऑब्जेक्टिव पैसा बनाना है, एग्जिट करना है, I'm not really interested. There are lots of VCs who will love to do that, right? Client Perkins will put billions of dollars into you if you really show an exit of 100 times X. मैं देखता हूँ कि आपका कैरेक्टर, ethics आपके किधर है. I think anyone in this world, that the premises and basis are ethics, morality, and that you always want to do right for other people, आप success खुद ही आ जाएगा आपको. So that's the first thing I look at. Right. The other thing I look at is how crystallized are you on the idea? Have you done market research? Have you studied that? Do you know about the product? How passionate are you about it? And then I make a gut feeling, and I've been fortunate over the years that I've had more wins than any lessons.
Yeah, being passionate about something that you really want to pursue is the only way forward, right?
And then is it a game changer?
Right.
It's important to me that it's a big disruption in what the world is doing right now. It's something new and different.
Has your investment been so result oriented? मुझे कोई success stories, if any, comes to your mind that initially you had supported and right now it has become a big name or a big initiative?
Sure. There are a couple of companies, I don't know if they want me to mention. There's one which is a publicly traded company now. They did very, very well. There's a couple of companies in the one in the insurance space that is doing phenomenally well, and these companies are massively huge now. My best investment has been in people that I've found early stage and helped them grow. I will mention some associations that originally, or programs that I would have invested my time and effort and not money, that have now become massive giants, stuff like that. So I really think where I'm lucky and I'm fortunate that मुझे मिलती ही अच्छे लोग हैं और अच्छी चीजें मिलती हैं जिसको मैं शुरू में ट्रिगर करके चला देता हूँ. Right. और फिर उसके बाद वो बढ़ के बड़ी कंपनीज हो जाएं, बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हो जाएं.
Right. अच्छा, मुझे एक और बात भी बताइएगा. As we interact more often, I do believe that you also believe in the power of networking, meeting a lot of people, different people from all backgrounds, diverse backgrounds. तो क्यों networking ज़रूरी है? Why networking is important? And what are the basic fundamentals that one should really, really keep in mind while networking with people? So it should just not be for the sake of networking, but what do you want to get out of it? आपका, what is your idea of networking?
देखिए, the one thing that you want to learn, and I'll give you a specific example of something that happened to me about 9, 10, maybe 12, 13 years ago. I was in Lahore giving a talk at a university, a very renowned university, LUMS, I think. LUMS ke andar I was giving a talk. And after the talk, all these bunch of students came up to me and said, here's my card, please connect with me, please connect with me. And what I do habitually is when I meet people, that when I get back on my flight, I scan their cards and send them an invitation to connect on LinkedIn with me. And I will tell you the difference in certain kinds of people that come from Israel, people that come from India, people that come from Silicon Valley, and the people that I've found, students or young people in Pakistan. They're reluctant. So when I got on the plane, took the card that you gave me, scanned it and sent you an invite to LinkedIn, I got a couple of responses. In fact, Andy Grove, Silicon Valley's godfather, At that morning when I landed in Silicon Valley back, I had a message from him saying, Zain, I'm a question on insurance. Can I please connect with you? Andy Grove is calling me, it's like God calling me. I accepted. Then I'm looking at the scans of the cards that I'd sent out. 3 or 2 people sent me back. The people that had met me in Lums and gave me the card, asked me to connect. Said, oh, I see you're in the insurance business. Any reason that you want to connect with me? So why are you so miserish? आप इतने कंजूस क्यों हैं किसी और को कनेक्ट करते हुए जिसमें आपका कोई फायदा नहीं होगा?
Right.
आप खुल के कनेक्ट करें क्योंकि आपको नहीं पता कि किस जमाने में कहां पर कौन आपको मिलेगा. जब मैंने अपनी जिंदगी शुरू की थी 15.5 साल की उम्र में, I opened my first business in Karachi. I was in the fashion business, nothing to do with insurance. But I connected with people, and even at that time that I still have connections with, and I'm 68 years old. So over the last 50 years, I've kept connections with them. This is a world of connectivity. Why is your net worth important? They say your network is your net worth. And that's really true. You don't know कब आपको किसकी जरूरत पड़े और आप ये ना कनेक्ट करें कि उसकी जरूरत मुझे, आप ये कहें इसका कोई मुश्किल मैं हल कर सकूं, let me help it. क्योंकि जब आप 100 आदमी की हेल्प करेंगे उसमें 2-3 तो बिलियनर बन जाएंगे ना.
Right.
वो आपको कभी नहीं भूलेगा. तो कनेक्ट विथ पीपल. कोई आपसे मदद मांगते हो मदद करें. You can help 3 ways to people: time, love, and money. You can fund their company, you can help them or find them somebody that can get them money. Can't do that, you can give them love, appreciate what they're doing, guide them, or give them your time. And these are all 3. Or एक चीज which you can give to all humans, and I say a lot about this, is dignity. And I was fortunate, I came in Silicon Valley in 1980s. I mean, Silicon Valley में देसी बहुत कम थे. अब सब, I know everybody because I had this habit of connecting and helping. वो अब मैं कहीं जाता हूँ तो सारे मुड़ के बोलते हैं Zain, Zain, Zain. It's not that it didn't come out of the, I'm not a big guy in Silicon Valley, right? I'm just an ordinary guy. But that's what happens when you're a giver of your time, love, and money.
Amazing. I'm actually learning a lot. So also, Mr. Zain, you were the keynote speaker at the very first alumni convention of Habib University, and you interacted and connected with Habib alumni, and they all loved you. So you talked about giving back. What is your idea of giving back?
I think I've got to stop for a moment and thank my mother. My mother, Batul Tapal or Batul Jewanjee, was a gem of a human being. Both my parents, my mother and my father, were givers, true givers. So very early in life, I saw this being taught to me, giving being taught to me. Unnecessarily, my mother would give things away, her time, her advice, her cooking, to anyone that came on the door. So I learned something, that giving doesn't cost you anything, because you really cannot give more than you have. And the more you give, your haves become more and more. I don't know what the magic is, whether it's, where we believe that ek doge to 10 guna milega. Whether there's a scripture you believe in or not, giving directly benefits you yourself. How? पहले तो जब आप देते हो, किसी की मदद करते हो, उसका जो मजा है ना, वो मिलने में लेने में मजा नहीं है. The pleasure you get when giving somebody. मैं कभी मुड़ के किसी की मदद करता हूँ, किसी को एडवाइस चाहिए, सब एडवाइस दे रहे होते हैं कि इतने मेरे को शेयर्स हो तो मैं एडवाइस दूंगे. मैं मुफ्त की एडवाइस देखी, जब वहां से निकलता हूँ ना, मैं कहता हूँ वाह. और फिर जब मैं उसको फ्लरिश करते हुए मेरी एडवाइस पर देखा, मैं कहता हूँ वाह. तो मेरी बेटी ने मुझे एक दफा कहा, डैडी यू हैव हेल्प्ड सो मेनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, CARE, ING, TIE, Open, in the early days when nobody was looking at them. You helped them. दूसरा मैं एक किताब लिख रहा हूँ, inshallah I'll be able to finish it by next year. It's called I Get Everything in Life 2 days before I need it. क्या मतलब है इसका? कि मुझे जो चीज़ की ज़रूरत होती है ना, अल्लाह सुब्हाना ताला या मदर नेचर या karma जो भी कहें, वो पहले से मुझे दे देती है. Why? Because मैं देता रहता हूँ. So believe in giving. I think I get the pleasure of giving.
Passion with which you talk about giving really suggests how important it is to you. This is really amazing. Mrs. Zain, you have invested. You have given to higher education, but I would rather say it, you have invested in higher education. And you have invested in a product that promises knowledge creation, right? So you have endowed a faculty chair at Habib University, Imam Ali Faculty Chair in Wisdom and Humanities. What was your inspiration behind this? Why did you actually invest in higher education and knowledge creation?
When I first visited Habib University, and Wasif Saab was so kindly gave me a tour. And by the way, for those who haven't met him personally, you have to keep the pace to keep up with him, right? And I'm supposed to be very energetic in walking and running. It's difficult to keep up with Wasif, right? He's an incredible human being. I learned about Habib a couple of things that made it different. When I heard that 50% of the kids that are going to go to Habib University will be from a financial factor which is of a lower category, people who can't afford it. Then the other thing, I didn't know that Stanford gives about 60% discount, and Habib gives about 75. Is that correct? Is that the number? 70 or 75? 85%. I mean, I was astonished. I said, if I'm going to put money somewhere where 85% of it, the person in that little town somewhere, little part of Karachi, in this little hut living, has now a chance to compete with the same as the factory owner's son. That's what I envisioned. That I said, this is a great cause. The other thing is the people behind. I had the pleasure of meeting Wasif, and in multiple occasions before I decided to, which was also a quick thing. I made a quick decision, and at the time I decided to donate something, I did not have the funds completely at that moment, but I said, karte hain. And again, as my giving goes, in about a week, something happened which I got the funds from the sky, falling from the sky. But I am very passionate about the institute, Habib University. I'm very, very passionate. I think the team, the leadership, the faculty, and the students. मैंने students से बात की है, and in fact, right now there's your alumni, ex-alumni group is doing something. They're putting together something, and I'm trying to help them on that too. Incredible kids, all about giving. They're givers. So it resonated with me because the students were like that. कि जो आपने निकाला है वहाँ से निकली हैं जो वो गिविंग की बात कर रहे हैं ये करते हैं. So I think I just loved that whole picture that I was getting. That's why I'm very passionate about Habib, and inshallah, we'll now get the Silicon Valley behind us and other people behind us to make it even a bigger picture.
Yeah, it's Pakistan's first and the only right now 100% community-owned institution. Wow. So it is because of the support of community members, community leaders such as yourself and the others, of course, that Habib University is delivering its promise on its promise. So thank you so much. Last but not the least, your message for the viewers who are watching Habib Talks. They are from all demographics. They are young professionals, there are students, there are leaders. Our audience is diverse. So your message to them.
To all of you, if you were to take an American dream story and put it on a piece of paper, you should go and read on me. I'm really an American dream. I didn't come in for studies here. I was already running a fashion business there. Came here at the age of 25, 24, something like that, with having lost my mother, my father, my son, my daughter. All four died in 2 years before I came here. I'm 24, 25 years old, working with 100,000 bills. And now today I sit here and endow a chair of millions of dollars into Habib University. How am I able to do that? Couple of fundamental things and rules and principles you want to get. Number one, if you're high C-level executives, treat your people right. So all my companies, we have an inverted pyramid. Inverted pyramid means I report to my assistant. She doesn't report to me. I report to her. I don't have the state mentality. I open the shutters and close the shutters and roll up the sleeves and do any work that needs to be done. I don't have people picking up my briefcase. And this is the Silicon Valley attitude, number one. Number two, ethics in everything you do. If it's not right, it should not be done. Now, the same goes for students. Do everything that's right. Don't. And for Pakistanis and friends that I love, please reach out to me if I can help you in any way. But I want to tell you one word which should be eliminated from our vocabulary, and that word is jogar. What jogar does, we can create anything in a short manner, but we also take shortcuts. We should not change it. So work, 2 lines I'll give you. Number one, I already told you, chase the finish line, not the cup. The second line, work for completion, work for excellence, not just for completion. Anything you do, जब खत्म हो जाए बोले यार इससे अच्छा होना चाहिए और उसको दोबारा करो. कंटेंट रेडी करो, दोबारा करो. अब तो आपको AI मिल गया है. You got help. You got the best tutors you can learn from. And God bless. This really, if you look geographically and economically, is the time for Pakistan. We can only go this way. There's no other way we can go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And I have actually learned a lot, just chasing the finish line has to be one of my favorites because, we get distracted a lot. And if you remain focused on the finish line, there is no other way that there is nothing that can actually stop you from achieving
what eventually the prize, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for the next episode of Habib Talks. We'll be having some great guests for you. And thank you, Mr. Zain, for joining us.
Thank you.